Hey, what's up? This is your boy Asiago back at it again with the 3 a.m. Thoughts podcast. Shoot, so I hadn't been recording every night, and that's because, well, life happens, and plus, it's not like I'm obligated to do it every night. It's just something that it's just a little hobby that I like to do. But I still want to. I still feel like I, really do want to record every day, or at least as much as I can, because, well, I don't know. I like making content for people. I've always have. Whether it's making drawings for people to see, or making videos for people to watch, or making podcasts for people to listen to. I just like creating stuff for people. So you know what? I'm gonna keep on going. And so actually, what I plan to do is that if I can keep recording for like the next week, of the next 7 days straight. Hell, by like maybe next Tuesday, like next Tuesday, I should be able to drop that Dez Mon special, for the mid-season special, So so interview with Dez Mon. Actually, I'm gonna give him a call later on to see if he's available. So, anyways. So I would have recorded last night. Actually, I was planning to. Problem was that I was super tired. Like I literally was. Because I came home at like 2 something. It was like almost 3. It wasn't I think it was mostly that. Well, I don't think it was necessarily the fact that it was like 3 a.m. that I was tired. I think it was more of the fact that the night before, or should I say the morning before, I didn't get too much sleep. Like it was, I got like maybe a good 4.5 hours of sleep. It ain't much, but hey, shoot, it was just enough to where I can at least function throughout the day. And that's the thing when it comes to sleep. I always try to keep it like at around 6 hours. 6 hours is just a really good number for me. And for me, it really does work. Seeing that I'm up for like 18 hours a day, and somehow 6 hours of sleep, really does help. Now, I do have a weekly day, an off day where I just sleep for like 13 hours. I just sleep with no alarm, just sleep throughout the day, even if I wanted to, because I gotta balance things out somehow, because throughout the week, I'm either sleeping 6 hours, 5, 4, sometimes I'll sleep 7 hours. But it's always around 6. I never sleep a full 8 hours. It's always like 7 or below, usually around 6. But anyways, this time though, I woke up with a 4 hours and 30 minutes of worth of sleep, and I was staying up, working nonstop all the way to freaking 3 a.m. So. God. It's not like I was working the whole time. Well, because I go to work at 1. It's not like I wake up and I'm at work or whatever. That would be pretty weird. But anyways, so bottom line, I was super tired and I didn't feel like doing anything. Ironically, because I tend, usually on my off days. Or at least when I get off, and then the next day is gonna be an off day, I tend to just stay up later, because I could take the risk, because it's not like I have to show up for work tomorrow, the next day. So why the hell not? And that's exactly what I did. It's funny because apparently, according to my mind, I was too tired to hit the record button, but I wasn't tired, or too tired to freaking like binge YouTube videos all day, which hey, was pretty fun. I do so much other stuff that I just don't really watch YouTube all that often. Actually, the funny thing is that the night before that night, 2 nights ago, I wanted to record, but I was downloading music, because I was using YouTube all night to freaking download my my entire music playlist and put them onto my Walkman. But the thing was that. Okay, so I think it was my second podcast that I actually I recorded and talked while I was downloading the music, and that was fine. And I was thinking about doing that 2 nights ago as well. The bad thing was that I remember when I did that, it took me it kind of slowed me down when I was actually downloading the music. Because here's the thing, freaking downloading all the music, it takes so long already. Like, I mean, it took me like 6 hours to download like 300 songs because of the freaking process I have to do, and there's some bull crap that happened along the way, and you know, freaking when I'm talking in the podcast, a lot of the times I'm going to be focused more on what I'm saying rather than what I'm doing. I mean, that is, for some reason, it's a whole different story if I'm like playing a video game while I'm talking. But when it comes to freaking downloading music, I think it's because like it actually requires me to really like, you know, check up on everything. With a game, you know, depending on what it is, I could just, you know, I mean, I'm just naturally fluid in that. You know, I can do that while freaking cooking if I could. But anyways. So let's get on to the actual like topics. Well, I don't really have a topic or topics. I'm just gonna you know, just ramble on like how I did in the beginning when I first started recording. So let's do this. So today I woke up to a pretty odd situation. So, well, I mean, yeah, it was a pretty odd situation. So I woke up. My dad was calling me downstairs because something was wrong with my sister. I go downstairs and she's on the ground, foaming at the mouth, and from what we saw, she probably had like a seizure or something. And actually, I think, yeah, I mean, that's it was confirmed that yeah, it was a seizure, and you know. And I mean, we stayed calm through the whole situation. You know, we called the paramedics. You know, them guys came over here. They brought in that. Damn, I forgot what you call it, but it's that. Is it stretcher? Is that what it's called? Oh no, the freaking portable bed thing that they use. That put the patient on, and then put them on the ambulance. So you know, so they picked her up, brought her to St. John's Hospital, and you know, and they took care of her there. And then when she came back, it turned, when she came back, you know, she was completely fine. And that was the thing, because I mean, she had a seizure, but I mean, they took a blood test and everything, and she was just completely fine. It was like nothing out of the blue, nothing out of the ordinary. You know what was going on? It just sort of happened. But my grandma theorizes that it's probably like just like her sleep schedule, in which I don't like. I'm not like she's home all day. I'm not home all day, you know. So I'm not too sure of her sleep schedule of one at all. But as for me though, I know that again I'm up for at least 18 hours a day. You know, freaking no matter how much sleep I get, and usually I wake up around noon. And you know, I'll wake up around noon, leave to work right before 1, and you know, I see she's awake at that time, and I know she's been awake, you know, because when I go to bed at 6, I know she's even awake then, and she's still awake when I leave, and I'll be coming home at like anywhere between 11 and 3 a.m. and she's still freaking awake. Yeah, like I'm not sure if she takes naps or whatever, or if she's just up that entire time. But then here's the thing: I think about it. If it is if it is like just like an insomnia kind of problem, then I think it would have hit me like a lot worse than what it is for her, because I mean she may stay up for like 36 hours at a time, but again she's home all day. It's not like she's out there, you know, freaking working her butt off or anything like that, because I'm over here freaking being awake like almost all the time, and you know I'm out there like freaking walking all day, doing work and stuff, you know. So I think if anything, it should like, if that was the case, it would have hit me like a lot harder than it would for her. But then again, everybody's different, you know. Not everybody's body's the same. So I'm grateful. I really am grateful. Thanking God that, you know, she made it back home safe. That nothing was wrong. I mean, perhaps something was wrong, and then God healed her of it. You never know. But anyways, so I'm glad she's back. You know, I'm glad she's okay. But because she had a seizure, and here's the thing about seizures, I don't like that word. Like I don't like considering myself to be the kind of person with any kind of trigger word or whatever, but unfortunately I do, and it's the word seizure. I mean, or when you say the word seizure in the context of like an actual, you know, person that I know of going on. Now, I mean, I'm a freaking memer, you know. I could say, oh, the elephant's having a seizure, or some stupid things like that, or you know that SpongeBob meme where freaking says Little Caesars and he's holding a Little Caesars pizza. Okay, you know, when it comes to that, yeah, it doesn't affect me. But when you tell me that my sister or my dog or anybody that I know and love has a seizure, yeah, only then does it actually become a trigger word for me. And I'm like, you know, and I start thinking back, you know, So to what happened with with my dog Bella. Once she started having seizures, that is what that would eventually be the death of her. So I really didn't like the thought of my sister having a seizure, but thankfully she's all right now. But just like what I had to do with Bella, after she came back from the vet, I had to watch over my sister. She's got another appointment with the doctor. I think tomorrow or sometime later down this week. Just a checkup. Just to make sure that everything's going all right and stuff. And really try to get down to what caused the seizure. Because it could have been random, but at the same time, like, why would a seizure just randomly happen? I don't know. But anyways, So I gotta keep an eye on her. Now again, I go to work and stuff, and then I go to work, and she's being put on a on a more regular sleeping schedule. So so she'll be sleeping at a certain time, and seeing that I'm awake, all night, the total amount of time I actually have to keep my eye on her, at least on my work days, isn't really that much. But anyways, so bottom line, I just got to keep an eye on her, just to make sure, nothing out of the blue happens, and if she were to have another seizure, well, I'd be there, and be there to calmly, call the people, who know what they're doing, to come over and and do their thing. So yeah, so I'm glad I'm glad she's home all right. Actually, and the thing was that my mom was asking me, like, if I was awake, as I saw her, fall down on the floor and have a seizure and all that. She was asking me, how would I react and stuff. And I told her, how I would react, calmly. Because here's the thing, when it comes to situations like that, you gotta act calmly. You can't just be freaking out or whatever, because it's a serious situation, and you need to you needed to take the necessary steps to work your way through it. And I'm like, what am I gonna do if I freaked out? What, scream at who? The dogs? My grandma? who am I gonna run to for help? Again, the dogs, my grandma, the refrigerator. Like, literally, we ain't got no medical experts in this house, and the only one closest to that is my mom, because she actually works. She's a medical assistant, but still, again, if she's at work and nobody else is here, who am I gonna run to? Who am I gonna call? So I would calmly, just take care of the situation, call the paramedics, because they know what they're doing, and get them to come pick her up and stuff. So there's that. So anyways, let's move on a little here. So during the whole situation, after the paramedics came and they picked her up, I'm not really the kind of person to worry all that much, but this is my sister we're talking about here. I've known her almost my whole life, so I'm over here, kind of uneased, so I talked to some friends about it, and when I wasn't talking to some friends, what I would do, what I did today was, I just rearranged stuff in my room, because I got because in the past couple days I got 4 new Funko Pops. I got Where's Waldo. I got one that's see what you call it, SpongeBob and Gary from that new SpongeBob movie. I got Marilyn Monroe, and I got this really dope looking Hulk Pop. He's big, he's gray, he's got the facial hair going on. His face is painted white as if it's supposed to look like a skull, and even on his body, it's supposed to look like he's got bones and stuff. It looks really awesome. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So I'm like, I don't care if that goes up in value or not. I want that. That looks cool. And plus, the Hulk's my favorite superhero, so why the hell not? But anyways, I'm gonna adjust the mic here a bit. I don't know why. There we go. So anyways, so that's what I did. I moved some things around, got some stuff out of my closet, because the way I have my closet is that I never keep it closed, because it's got a weird like double door function where like I can't have both doors open at the same time, but I can open the doors either reveal one side or the other. And I decide, just for the sake of it looking cool and looking good and stuff, I just always keep it open. And then I have some stuff on the shelf there, for, first of all, it's for storage, but second of all, I got some things on there to get the act as decoration. And that's what I did. I cleared off that shelf. Put the Funko Pops I had, the new ones, including some other extra ones that I had, on display in the closet. Because here's the thing, I got a little feature section right above my shelf, but it's already pretty damn full, and I don't want to. I don't want to overdo it or make it like so tall it freaking tumbles. And I already got a shelf, above my window, like, go like horizontal, freaking displaying a whole bunch more pops. But the thing is that I don't have a longer board yet, and and quite frankly, I don't have any other shelves anywhere yet. So before I can get that done, I'm just gonna keep the pops in the closet, at least make them like displayed and look good, during the time being. But anyways, that's what I did, during the whole waiting period, just to kind of ease my mind off a bit. So let's move on here. So in this next segment, I'm going to talk about what else, what other thoughts I had today. Here we go. All right, so after the whole Victoria situation happened, and after I've done rearranged some of the Funko Pops in my room, my grandma called me downstairs because she wanted me to get some ice fur, so she gave me $20. She said all I gotta do is just pay for the ice, and then the rest of the change is mine. And I thought, oh, dope, so I went down to the Stripes across the street, freaking got myself a Monster energy juice. My favorite blend, actually, which is called the Pacific Punch. My God, so damn good. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little detour here real quick. When it comes to Monster Energy juices, man, I love them all. Especially especially the Pacific Punch. That's like my absolute favorite. But the one I actually end up drinking the most is the pink one, which I forgot what that's called. But it's the pink variety. However, there's this one Monster Energy juice that it's came and gone, and for the longest time it was my favorite, but I don't know why like nobody's selling it anymore. I don't know if they're just not manufacturing it anymore, or maybe I'm not looking or maybe I'm not looking in the right places, because again, like my favorite energy drink, which is the champagne flavored Bang, I can't find that anywhere else except for this one gas station across from my old middle school, and that's the only place where I'm able to find it. So I think maybe this might be the case with this other Monster Energy juice, and it's called the Ripper. Yes, it's a yellow Monster Energy drink can. Freaking, it's and again, it's a juice, and it's called the Ripper. It's freaking nice. I used to find that freaking. I used to only find that in gas stations. I would never see it in Fruit Towns or Targets or HEBs or Walmarts. Shoot, I wouldn't want to find them at all. I would only freaking find them in gas stations, and that's the thing. Again, I've said this before in a podcast, but shoot, again, I love going to freaking gas stations and looking at the different kinds of energy drinks, sometimes exclusive flavors that I can find. It's kind of like an Easter egg hunt, except energy drinks, and I'm a big fan of them. So it's just that much more fun to me. But anyways, so the damn Ripper, man. I was just so sad when I found that I just couldn't find them anymore. Or again, I'm not sure if they just stopped making them, or now they're just like harder to find or whatever. But damn, man, the things I would do to get back a Ripper. Damn. So anyways, shoot. Back to what I was saying before the entire before I went on the whole energy drink deal. So I went to the gas station, which is Stripes across the street. Got some ice, got myself a Monster Energy drink, and I also got me some some Slurpee flavored gummy worms, which is pretty damn dope. So like ever since they started building this 7-Eleven, like not too far down from the Stripes, like we've been like over here at Stripes. I don't know why I'm saying we. It's not like I work there or anything, but over there at Stripes, they've been getting a lot more Slurpee related items. From actually serving Slurpees themselves to having Slurpee like flavored things, and I don't know. It's pretty damn cool. Kind of weird though, because you would think 7-Eleven would be like a competitor, unless like there's a major company that owns both Stripes and 7-Eleven. I'm not sure how that goes. I don't keep up with gas station business stuff, but still, like, it's cool because, and actually the 7-Eleven isn't even like done being built yet, and definitely with this whole pandemic going on, it's not it's I don't know, it's probably not going to be done for a good while. But anyways, it's cool. Ever since they started building that, we've been getting more Slurpee related items, in that store. So it's in the Stripe store. So it's all Gucci, man. It's all pretty damn cool. So anyways, when I got home, I gave her the ice, and I got my drink and my candy upstairs, and just watch some YouTube for a bit. Oh, that was a weak burp. So anyways, I was just watching YouTube for a bit. I was watching some alternate history hub, watching some Scott the Woz, and actually, when I was watching Scott the Woz, I watched this video of his going over the Game & Watch. I'm a big fan of of retro gaming and videos related to retro gaming. So when I saw that video, I was like, okay, hell yeah, I'm gonna freaking click on it. See if I can learn anything new. And shoot, so while he was making this video, in this video, he featured this one different kind of Game & Watch. So let me give you a bit of context for y'all who are not like so familiar with retro gaming. Game & Watches, they're like little LCD games that were released from like throughout the entirety of the 1980s and ending like right at the beginning of the 90s. So they're like little LCD games, very simple, had like maybe a button or two. The goal is just try to rack up a high score. Kind of like the premise of arcade games, except smaller, more simpler. On an LCD display, and again, they'll be just so simple. They're like the kind of games, like kind of like the simplicity of games you would find on mobile phones today, but except way back then, and and they predate the Game Boy, so it's not like the graphics really moved or anything like that. It's just little LCD lights, lighting up, to simulate the kind of simulate movement. Although the picture is going on the screen itself, it ain't doing nothing. It's just lining up different parts of the screen. But anyways, with these Game & Watches, they came in all different kinds of forms. So you got your standard form, which is just a rectangle within a bigger rectangle with buttons, and you got your basic screen and all that. But then you get to the more interesting looking ones. Like you got ones that kind of look like Nintendo DS's, with the whole clamshell thing going on, the D-pad and a button, or in this one I was really intrigued by, which is it was a boxing game, and so just looking at the casing of it, so the game itself, I had the screen. It was in kind of like an oval case. It was in an oval casing, except this oval casing would open up, and when you open it up, it would show two controllers that would come out of it, and they're wiredly attached to the actual device itself, and it's pretty cool because I was not expecting to see that when I saw this product, and just the fact that there were two attached controllers, via wire, protruding out of this console, that could be easily taken out of the console. it also seeing that it was made by Nintendo themselves. It really reminds me of what they did with the Switch. You got your Nintendo Switch. You just snap the kickstand out, and then you take the two controllers off, hand one of the controllers to your friend, and you could play 2-player games. Wirelessly with the two halves of the controller. I mean, that's what I saw when I saw this freaking Game and Watch with the with the two like wired controllers. It just reminded me so much of that, and I would not be surprised if freaking and if really that's what Nintendo got the inspiration to do that from. That's the thing. Nintendo inspiring Nintendo. Like, how much more meta can you get? But I don't know, and just and it wasn't just that, that kind of intrigued me about this old gaming thing. It was the fact that it's just how it was presented. Again, like I say, it was in the oval casing, and the two controllers, there were circles, this little circles big enough for a little D-pad and a button. And because that's all the controls that you really needed for this simple game that they're attached to, and just. God, just everything from the colors to the way it was designed, to just how it opens up and it looks like just a very fancy box you would put, I don't know, joints or whatever in. I don't know. It looks super nice and stuff. And and I started thinking, man, freaking game consoles and just video game related things, man. The stuff they made back in the 70s and 80s. It's like they were built. It was they were built to look classy in a way. I don't know, that's the thing that I saw with that's the thing that I see with a lot of gaming things that were made back in the day. Especially if you go into the old 70s consoles, like the Atari2600. It just looks pretty damn classy. And I think when because here's how the Atari looked. I mean, on the top, it looks like a machine. I mean, obviously, it's got switches that you would toggle to to mess with the color or whatever, or to mess with the modes of the game, and and throughout the top, it just has a lot of ventilation. Again, making it kind of look more like a machine. But on the sides of it and on the front, it was all wood grain, real wood grain. It looks super damn nice. I mean, even to this day, if you see an original Atari 2600, it looks it looks pretty damn cool. And I think the whole idea with the wood grain was that, they were trying to make video game consoles, to appear like furniture. I mean, shoot, even to this day, I mean, you look how the PS4 is presented. Look how they designed it. Because typically, I mean, despite whether or not you actually put the console in your room or in a gaming room or in the living room, again, they're typically these video game consoles from back then and even today, they're designed to as if by default, you're gonna put it in your living room, and you're gonna have a console, by the TV in the living room. You're gonna want to have it look nice, because again, let's say you invite people over, and and the first thing they come into is your living room, and you just have this wacky looking colorful box right next to your freaking TV. It's gonna look weird. So especially back then, back in the 70s, when at a time when you could say things are more sophisticated or whatever. I'm not sure what the right term is, but anyways, things were supposed to look more or they wanted things to look more serious, more sophisticated. So what they did was that they made the Atari 2600 look more like an actual piece of furniture, by adding the wood grain, by trying to make it look as presentable as possible, but yet keep all the actual functionality, as top priority. And damn, did they do it. And and that's the funny thing, is that when it comes to 2600, I love how it looks. I just love it as a piece of gaming history, especially being a retro gamer myself. But when it comes to the games, I mean, I love Atari's arcade games. I really do. From Centipede to Crystal Castles, which is actually one of my top favorite games of all time, and it's also my favorite Atari game of all time. Shoot, you got asteroids, you got freaking missile command, you got damn Tempest. Shoot, like you got all these classic titles made by Atari themselves, and I love them all. But when it comes to the 2600, that's when my opinion kind of changes, because again, I love Atari games. I'm just not a big fan of the Atari 2600. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with it. Not trying to roast it in any way. But the thing is that like, okay, so if you take a look at graphics, when it comes to gaming, and seemingly like every generation the graphics get twice as better. They get twice as good. They become twice as powerful. And they start looking twice as twice as good as they did in the previous generation. I mean, hell, it became most obvious between like Nintendo or NES and Super NES. From 8-bit to 16-bit, it became the whole graphical jump was like more obvious there than at any time. Well, I guess you could say between like maybe Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, or Sega Genesis to like PlayStation 1. Still like it was early back in the day when graphical jumps were like much more obvious, and you could definitely and you could definitely see it a lot more. But and the thing is that I'm not saying that a game needs great graphics to be a good game. I mean, I played many games with like terrible graphics, but they're some of the most fun pieces of arts that I've ever played. But the thing is, and my thing with Atari 2600 is that like, God, okay, so again, the Atari 2600, it's a late 70s console, and you have the NES, which is an 8-bit console, mid 80s. Yeah, again, released in 1985. Obviously, they're two different generations, or at least that's the way I see them. So you got the 8-bit NES, and so and definitely when you look at the Atari 2600's graphics, it's really obvious to tell that the 2600's graphics were probably like 4-bit. And here's the thing, again, a game does not need to have good graphics for it to be good. I mean, you can just have a terrible, you just like the colors can be terrible. Like you can just have blobs, to represent your game. And if it's fun to play, then it doesn't really freaking matter, whether the game looks good or not. But when it comes to Atari 2600, and again, this is just my opinion, the games themselves may be good, because I've played my fair share of 2600 games, and they play great, and they've actually had a good time with them. But my thing is that like, I don't know, like, I mean, sure, the graphics aren't the best, but like, not only that, the graphics of the 2600, I can barely tell what the hell's supposed to go on. Like freaking, so there's this one game I remember playing. I think it was one of the first 2600 games I played when I got myself a 2600 flashback. And the thing is, I think it was called like Dragon Quest or something like that, or it was some, I remember the whole premise was, you got to go through this castle and you got to slay the dragon, and then again you got to go around the castle and collect these items. That's fine and dandy, but again, with the very limited graphical power they had, like, I'm guessing not only would you have to use your imagination on a whole lot of things, but you would also have to pretty much imply on what a single thing is. Like, so I'm going around, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and then like, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on, what the hell something is, and with no in-game instructions and no actual instruction manual to actually, to get any context of the game, it's kind of like a guessing game on what to do. And again, the Atari 2600, it only has a joystick and a single button. That's the controller. Just a joystick and a button. There isn't very much you can do if you try to do anything at all. So I'm over here, freaking like trying to move around, trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, what the heck is this? What the hell is this? Like, where do I go? And then it's not just that game, but it's other games too. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the heck something is. Is it an item? Is it an enemy? Is it a power up? Is it me? What the hell am I looking at? Like, because because like one of the most important things of a game is that you know what the hell you're looking at. Because I mean, shoot, like a game could be nothing but like just a bunch of like blocks of random colors on the screen. But if as long as I know what I'm looking at and I know like what the whole point of the game is, okay, it's completely legitimate. But when it came from my experience, when it comes to Atari 2600 games, I could never figure out what anything was, or like what the hell am I supposed to do. And a lot of times I'd be just confused looking at a bunch of freaking blocks, trying to think, what is that? What am I supposed to do with that? Can I go there? Can I grab it? Can I attack it? What the heck is that? What the heck is going on? And so, and again, it's not, for me, it's not like that with every Atari game, but I mean, I just can't stand that the technology is so limited to just like dots and blocks and lines that it just makes it so hard for me to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And maybe if I was like, I don't know, maybe my opinion might have been different if I was like born at a at the boomer age, and I was actually if I started playing Atari as a kid. I don't know, maybe my opinion might have been different. But the thing is, I'm not a boomer. I didn't grow up with these games. I like literally when I think one of the first video games I ever actually played, arguably it was this freaking PC Arthur game. I don't know, it was like some kind of preschool game. But first a real video game, I would say maybe I think it was like Sonic the Hedgehog on this Genesis controller that had like 6 games built in. But again, the first real video game I played was probably Sonic. But I believe it was Sonic the Hedgehog. And by that point, I knew, what I was looking at. I could see what Sonic was. I could see what the background was. I could see what the foreground was. I could tell what everything is. And so with my experience in video games, when they root in that, and the thing that I can actually see and understand well, it's I don't know. I think it makes it kind of harder for me to look and try to understand, what the hell I'm looking at when it comes to an old 70s Atari game. I don't know. Again, that's just me. And again, completely different story with Atari's arcade games, because they weren't limited to such weak technology. Like they can actually make their games look like the way they wanted them to. Damn, like not every game looked like freaking Pong. Every game looked different. Different enough to where you can actually tell what everything was. Like, you look at Atari 2600 games, however, they all just kind of look like the same game, except with, different designs. I'm not sure. Again, not trying to not trying to knock on freaking Atari or the 2600 or its games, because again, that's opinions differ for everyone. And again, I have a lot of good experiences with 2600 games. That's just a little pet peeve of mine. But anyways, shoot. So let's go on. So back to what I was saying about video games like looking classy. Classy enough to where they look like pieces of furniture. And I was talking about the wood grain on the 2600. Shoot, like I don't know. There was wood grain on a lot of old consoles back then. Shoot, I personally like to call it the wood age, because you got the Stone Age, you got the Bronze Age. I call this the wood age, freaking, because again, you got wood grain and everything, makes everything look good, look really presentable, especially back at a time when things were supposed to look more sophisticated. Before the 1980s when things started getting more weirder, but again, they achieved their point. Not only were they gaming machines, but they're also like legitimate pieces of furniture. That look good when you put them in your living room. That is said and done. Like everything had a very neat and different design. And that's why I like it. And that's why that's why I mean, just and I'm, when I say this, I'm talking about like consoles, like in general, not just old consoles, but consoles from that time all the way to now. It just kind of like, I don't know, it saddens me whenever I see that that design for a console is just like a simple very simple plain rectangle or something like that. Like the Wii U, like the Wii U, it wasn't a bad console. It just had bad marketing and stuff. But again, it wasn't a bad console. It had great games and such. But like, you look at the actual console itself, not the controller, just the real thing you put your disc in. It's literally just a black rectangle. That's all it is. It's a black rectangle with a disc track. Not disc track, a disc slot. That's all it is. And like, it's so boring. I mean, I know when you're playing games, you're not looking at the console, but wow, again, like, but this is something that's supposed to like, be presentable in your living room or something like that. But like, wow, it's just so bland. And like, it just saddens me for me to see something like that. I mean, God, at least the GameCube had the I had the gimmick of being a cube, a small little cube. But again, at least it gave it personality. It gave it some I don't know. It gave it some character. But when I just look at the Wii U, it's just just boring. or at least like the earlier Xbox Ones. Like, at least they look like freaking old school 80s VCRs. I'm not sure if that was the intention, or I'm not sure if that's what you think, but I mean, that's what I saw. But anyways, again, even something like that, it gives it some kind of a character, and for machines, like designed on the outside to to look like something that you would want in your living room. Again, like, it just saddens me to see someone like designed so blandly. Like, again, it doesn't have to look all flashy. Like, it just I don't know. To me, like, again, you're designing these things, for other people to see when they walk into someone's house. I think, you could put a little more effort into like designing the actual console stuff to make it look cool. Not freaking like out of this world or anything like that. I don't know, but like, just to kind of fit the look of the general living room. Some are just good enough to where it like, I don't know, people won't be disappointed in your product. I'm not sure what I'm saying no more. I'm just gonna try to get off this freaking topic here. So anyways, so back to the original to the original convo. So I was back to when I was watching that Scott the Woz video about Game & Watches. So I noticed. Well, I mean, okay, so I wasn't new to this, so I saw like they showed all kinds of like Game & Watches, and again, one of the designs that they showed off was the one with the clamshell design, the one that with two screens, a D-pad, and a button. And again, I'm pretty sure Nintendo got a lot of inspiration from that. When they were designing the earlier like Game Boy and DS consoles, with the whole clamshell design and all. And that's pretty, and that's pretty dope though. But then I don't know. That made me think. I don't know why I just had this random thought, but that made me think. Man, like, is there a way I can play my DS on the TV? I don't know why I started thinking about that when I'm watching a video about Game & Watches and having nothing to do with plugging in portable consoles to a TV. But for some reason, I started thinking that, can I just like get a dongle for my freaking 3DS and just like plug it in directly to my TV? I'm not sure. So the next segment is going to be focusing more on can I do this with a 3DS? Here we go. Alright, so here we go on this other segment here. So I didn't want to end the last segment as weird as I did, but the thing is that like so ever since I got this new microphone, I've been recording on my computer. Now I got an adapter so I can use I can attach it to my phone and record it off there. But the problem is that like, when I use that, you can hear some of the electrical static, in my audio, because I'm having to connect this microphone into a dongle that connects directly into the USB port of my phone, and you just hear the jumbled up audio between my voice and whatever electrical stuff is going on in the port. And on the Anchor app on my phone, I can play. I can not play. I can record up for an entire hour before I'm forced to either change segments or end the podcast. And on the computer, like for some reason I only have 30 minutes, to record before I have to make another segment or end the podcast. And I am not making a 30-minute podcast. No, I want to try to keep them at an hour long. Again, nothing is, obligating me, from making up 30 minutes. I just don't want it to be 30 minutes, But anyways, so back to what I was saying. So with the whole, old Game & Watches looking like DS's with the whole clamshell thing going on and all that, blah blah blah, and then I started thinking about freaking DS's, and I'm like, man, it'll be really dope if I could play my 3DS on my TV. Just like, what? There's gotta be like a dongle out there, like, so I could plug in like directly into my 3DS and just has like an HDMI port there, and I just plug it on my TV and bam. Now, thing is that like, well, first of all, why would I want to do that? Well, I mean, I don't know why I just started thinking about this. I don't know. And when I really start thinking about it, I mean, it sounds like a cool idea, but just thinking about the way the games look on the 3DS, it looks fine because it's a small screen and all. But then you size them up to fit on an entire TV screen. I think like they're not going to look as good as they do on the actual 3DS screen. And it's kind of impractical, because first of all, it's a portable console, but also too, it's not like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not like it's supposed to be like the Switch or whatever, where it's supposed to be kind of both. But I mean, whatever. I don't know. For some reason, I started thinking about wanting to plug in my damn 3DS to the TV. And then I started thinking more into this, at the moment. And I was thinking, man, that would be pretty damn cool. I can play, I can play games, on the 3DS. I mean, like if there was like a way I could play it on the TV, it would have to be a dongle. That would plug in directly into the TV and into my 3DS. I've seen that the 3DS has no Bluetooth capability. I would probably have to use the damn 3DS or hold the damn console anyways in my hand as a controller. And because a lot of games utilize touchscreen controls, I would have to keep it in my damn hands anyways, because that's the only way I can have that second screen. It's not like a Wii U or anything. Well, I mean, it is like a Wii U, but except freaking it's not like it's a console and a controller that are detached. The whole damn thing is within itself. So. Again, I don't know why I had that stupid idea, but I just kind of had that all of a sudden for some reason. I was probably thinking about like the Switch, and I thought, hey, what if I did that with my 3DS? I'm not sure. And then it led me to think about other things. Like, man, it'd be really cool, if I could do that and play Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Maker on my TV. But then I remembered, why the hell would I need to do that? First of all, I don't have that game anymore because I sold it so I could have money to go to Onicon last year. And I really don't need it because I have Super Mario Maker 2 on my Switch, in which I hadn't played it in a while. I totally forgot I had the game until I started remembering the 3DS version. But again, why the hell would I need to do something like that if I got the freaking game on my Switch? And I don't know. I think because I think when I was thinking about the whole playing the 3DS on the TV and the whole having to hold the damn console like a Wii U, I started making me think about Super Mario Maker, and I totally just forgot about the fact that I have it on Switch. But anyways, so Super Mario Maker and games like that. I really like Super Mario Maker. Not so much the fact not so much of the fact that I can make levels and stuff. I mean, I do make levels. I just don't make them very often because when it comes to games where you can make your own games, I'm not very much of a person that I'm not very much of a creator. I'm more of a player. Because here's the thing, I got a bunch of weird and obscure concepts for levels, but either I cannot bring them into fruition because I'm not sure how to make them work, or I try to make them work and they just come out not as good as I wanted to be, or they're just too elaborate, or they're just not fun. I don't know, it's fun creating them, but it's not fun playing them. If you know what I mean. But that's what I like about Mario Maker, is that you're not just limited to just creating, to just making levels. Which I know that's like the main point of the game, but but you don't have to do that. Like I can literally just not make a level in my entire life and still enjoy the game, because freaking I can just connect online and I can play everybody else's stuff. I can download their levels and stuff, and that's what I loved about the original Mario Maker and this one. And I was so disappointed whenever I got the 3DS version that I couldn't do that. Because at the time when I got Super Mario Maker for 3DS, I've already done my Wii U long ago, and it was way before I got myself a Switch. So I'm over here like, man, I can only create levels, and the only levels that I didn't create that I could play would be like the ones from the story mode, which I hadn't even completed. But still though, I knew but eventually, like any Mario game, I would eventually run out of levels, and I have to be forced to just make levels. And again, I'm not that much of a creator. I'm more of a player. But anyways, so someone Mario Maker 2 came out for the Switch. I was just so excited, So I bought it, and I by default I made a level. I made a single level. It wasn't the best level, but it was a level. But I was more excited about the fact that I can actually connect to the internet again and play everybody else's levels. Man, because my favorite thing about Mario Maker is that it's like a never-ending Mario game. Because you just have an unlimited amount of freaking you just have an unlimited horde of Mario levels with different Mario styles, out there to play. And it's so cool because shoot, and God, again, it's like a never-ending Mario game. I got all these levels made by different people, and there's a lot of people who really know what they're doing, who can really make some good levels. And it's cool because again, it's not like the official. This is an official Mario game, but it's not like all the official levels made by Nintendo themselves, where again, they're kind of laid out in a typical way. Not saying typical is bad or anything like that, but just like your typical Nintendo way. Nothing too nothing too wacky, nothing too bland. Just the perfect mix of everything. But then you got when you give the player the ability to create the levels themselves, that's when all the twists and turns happen. That's when all just the crazy stuff happens. Or that's whenever you get those automatic music levels. Or that's whenever you get the surprise stuff and all that. And it's really cool. It's things that Nintendo would probably do if they wanted to go all out, but they decided to let us do it instead, and it's beautiful, man. Because again, I can only wish that I can make levels like that. But you know what? It's so much fun to just play through other people's levels that know what they're doing and all that, and it's so cool. I remember back in the Wii U, I think I only made 2 levels, and I just stopped. I just stopped at 2 because then the game mode that I would go to most would be freaking the 100 Mario challenge. And what you do is, you start off with 100 lives, and you just go on playing playing random levels from online, all the way until you eventually run out of lives and die. Actually, I don't think it was the 100 Mario challenge. I think it was maybe the 10 Mario challenge or something like that. Because I think the 100 Mario challenge is whenever you start off with 100 lives, then you have to go through these maps. Through these maps with wacky levels made by Nintendo themselves. Or not even that. Again, you played other people's levels, but I'm not sure. I kind of forgot about how it all worked. But anyways, all I remember was the mode I would play. I would just keep on playing other people's levels, and it was awesome. It was super fun. Damn, and I would just keep on playing for hours. And that's another thing. That's another reason why I love Mario Maker. And the whole concept of it is because not only is there an unlimited amount of levels, but nothing is ever the same. They're never okay, so maybe there are a few cases where 2 levels are but that's because they're both music levels, or they're both freaking this kid was bored, so he just put a bunch of invisible blocks everywhere, and now you gotta go all the way this way and go all the way the other way and jump, and you do rinse and repeat. No, and if you wanted to, you can skip stupid levels like that. But anyways, everything is always different, and it's so fun because again, it's again, it's not only a never-ending Mario game, but it's a never-ending Mario game with so many, like, just everything is different. There's almost no like same experience. You're always gonna have something different, going on, and it's so damn fun. It's so damn cool, God. So yeah. So I mean, so that's that for Mario Maker. So actually. So let's go on. For the PS4, I actually got this game called Dreams, which I will eventually play it one day. It's just at the moment I'm playing other games. I started it I started the tutorial, but I hadn't actually gone through with it yet. So, and again, probably when it comes to that game, because that Dreams it's actually more so like a Little Big Planet than anything else. As a matter of fact, it was made by the same people. But the whole premise of the game is that it's one of those games where the creator can create their own games using the game's tools and engine and stuff. And I've seen many different examples online of what kind of games people have made, and it's pretty damn cool. I mean, hell, somebody recreated like part of the original Super Mario 64 game using Dreams, and that was pretty damn cool. Because I'm like, playing Super Mario 64 on a PS4, that's something I've never heard of, and that is something pretty damn dope. And seeing that it was made by a creator, well, I mean, not a game creator, but somebody, but like created by just a regular player. Like that was just pretty damn cool, man. Like I got so stoked, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta buy this game. And too, because my friend Caleb, he was telling me, hey, let's create something, so buy the game and we can play it. I buy the game, we go into quarantine, and then now freaking having to wait, forever, just having to wait forever until he can actually come over and come inside the house, and we can let him do his magic. Because again, I'm not much of a creator, but he is. So, anyways. But like really though, like the next time I boot up that game, I'm just gonna get through the tutorial, probably forget most of what I learned, and probably just go on to freaking playing other people's stuff, because that's the way I roll. I mean, that's how I am with Mario Maker. That's probably how I'm gonna be with Dreams. Shoot. Caleb is more of the creator, I'm more of the player. So that's because that's how I play, that's how I roll. Let's go on here. That's another thing I want to talk about. What happened today? So today, I was going through my messages on Messenger, because so I was on Messenger, looking through my messages, and I saw that somebody added me to this random group chat. I don't know why. I look at the group chat, and I didn't know any of these people, and it like, including myself, there was like 148 people in total, and I'm like, who made this? Why am I here? And then the thought came to me, oh, it must be another society where somebody freaking made one group chat and just added a whole bunch of random people, kind of like Pumba did, with the society.
Yeah, hey guys, Pumba. What are you doing here? Well, you said the word society. That's my favorite word, right?
I know, but why are you here? Like, how'd you get through the door? It was locked.
Locked? What lock?
Wait, what'd you do to my lock?
Oh, that thing on the doorknob?
Yes, that thing on the doorknob. What did you do to it?
I ate it.
Huh?
Yeah. It was disgusting and it hurt my teeth, but I ate it. It was pretty damn good.
Huh? Why would you do that? Man, I gotta spend more money on a damn freaking doorknob.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Anyways, so
well, you're talking about getting added to a random group chat.
Yeah.
Tell them about the part where I came in.
Yes, I was getting to that. So anyways, I see that somebody tried to pull a Pumba on me, so I'm like, you know what? Let's make this fun. So I spammed the hell out of that group chat. It was a bunch of like random people, and they all probably had no context to this either. So I'm like, you know what? Get a bunch of memes and just start spamming them. Freaking like Yeah, like I just went nonstop for like 10 minutes, just spamming all these photos. Hell, it probably might have broke their phones because it almost damn near broke mine. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna add Pumba in here, and he's gonna do his thing.
Hell yeah, he did. Yeah. So now I'm in a society. I renamed it Society 2, and then I put my picture on it.
Why?
Because what's a society without my picture?
Well, okay, well you're right about that. But shoot, like, damn. So not only me, but Pumba here, we gained up on them, and we made hell for them, man. And it's funny because, like, because their reactions, they're like, "What the hell is this crap? What the hell? Why are you breaking my phone?" Man, people were just angry and pissed.
Yeah, they were really pissed, and I told them, this is my new society. You can never escape. If you try escaping, I will personally find you, track you down, add you back into the group chat, and I will punish you for your sins.
Exactly, Pumba. Yeah, you keep telling them that. But anyways, shoot. So so then then I thought, you know what? I probably might just leave this one because Pumba was gonna spam the hell out of it anyways, but he wouldn't let me.
Of course not. Do you think I'm gonna let you escape the society just because you're my brother?
Well, I kind of thought that, but
anyways, so what I did was I added everybody from the original society into Society 2, and now we're all one big family, a big family that I can spam.
Yes, a big family that you can spam.
Hell yeah! And then I added Uncle Larry, and then I spammed the chat again, and then he got all mad, and I'm scared if he's gonna beat me up again.
Yes, I know. But don't worry. You don't have to worry about that. Uncle Larry ain't here. He's back. He's back in. Well, not back. Well, he's in Tennessee. Drinking some whiskey at some random bar right now.
Well, that's a relief.
Well, anyways, shoot. So actually, Pumba.
Yeah.
Remember that Roxy Wong fellow.
Yeah, the ugly cosplayer that rebelled against me.
Yeah. Tell him about Roxy Wong.
Well, back in the original society, I loved spamming people every day, and people got mad. People didn't like it, and people would always leave my damn society. But there was this one girl, this one ugly girl. She was a cosplayer. Her name was Roxy Wong, and then she rebelled against me.
How does she rebel against you?
Well, she started spamming me back. Like, she started spamming the chat. She blew up my phone, and it really sucked, and it hurt my feelings. And I didn't like it very much.
Well, so then you learn to not spam people, and then you let them all go, right?
Hell no! No, what I did was I spammed her back.
Of course. What else did I expect from you?
Well, anyways, so I got into her DMs and I started spamming her directly, and then she did the same to me, and I was just so annoyed. And then you know what? And then I started spamming her every single day, and then I started spamming her page on Facebook, and then you know what she did?
What did she do?
She blocked me like a mofo. She blocked me. She really does suck.
Okay. So she blocks you. What else does she do?
Well, she didn't want me to spam her anymore, so she literally turned her personal page into a group page, and now everybody can like her ugly pictures, and everybody can, I can't add her as a friend, and I can't add her into the society no more because now she's not a person on Facebook no more. She's a freaking group page, and it really sucks.
Well, I guess it sucks to suck, man. You tried doing what you wanted to do, but I mean, in the end, it kind of bit you in the butt. Now, anyways, Pumba, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can you please leave my studio? I'm still angry about the whole lock thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to poop it out?
No. Just go back to where you came from, and you can keep the lock after you poop it out. I'm just gonna buy a new one.
Okay. But here's the problem.
Yeah.
I got evicted from my apartment again. Can I stay here for a few days?
No. I don't even own this place. This is my parents' house. This is my room.
Can I ask you?
No, just go live in the dumpster down the street.
No, I refuse to leave. Hell no.
Fine. I didn't want for it to come to this. Hey, Uncle Larry, get over here.
What? He's here?
Yeah. So I kind of lied about the whole him being in Tennessee and all. I just didn't want to scare you, but I knew something like this would happen. So, Uncle Larry, get your butt over here right now.
What the hell? I was trying to sleep and drink my beer. Oh no, it's Uncle Larry. Oh, Pumba. Oh, you've been a real bad boy. I'm gonna beat the smack out of you. No, please don't. Here, come here, Pumba. No.
They're out of my studio. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, so here we are at the end of my podcast here. But before I say my outro, I'm gonna, so I actually called Dez Mon, right before recording this. I called Dez Mon, ask him, hey, you wanna join the podcast and stuff. Here, take a listen.
Okay, cool. Hey, Dez Mon. I was wondering if you would like to come into the show, like maybe in a few days, or maybe in a week or so. I want to feature you on my show. Because I feature my brother Pumba. I have featured my uncle Larry, and I was thinking about you. I was like, you know what? Dez Mon. He'd be a real cool guy to just to have on the show. Let me interview you. Just come on down and just bring some entertainment to the cast. So what do you say? Stop by my studio in a few days. Man, I don't. Why are you asking me to do a podcast, man? I got work to do. Who's gonna unload the trucks, man? We have too much trucks to do. You need to get back to work. Okay, look. First of all, I am off today, and second of all, look. We'll just get We'll just get the B team to throw the truck, and they'll unload it. But man, just have Soldier full jammed all day. Look, just listen. Don't worry about that. Look, just come on down to the show, and and everything over there will take care of itself. What do you say, man? Okay, man. I'll come into the show. Just give me a call when you're ready, man. Sure thing. I'll give you a day advance notice. Sure thing, man. Now get back to work. We have too much stuff to do. Look at all these pallets, man. I'm not even working today. No, man. Well, look at this auto is John, man. No, stop. No, man.
All right, so you heard it here, guys. Dez Mon, my old supervisor. He's gonna take a quick break from the trucks in the back room and all that. He's gonna come on the show in a few days. Possibly like maybe a week or so. And come join. Bring some variety to the to the cast. So so I'm very excited about that. Anyways. So if you made it this far, thank you for listening. There's more to come. I'm trying to post every day, but again, life happens, so it may not be every day, but always check back for more episodes. And this is your boy Asiago on 3 AM Thoughts, signing off. Have you a good one.